What's up, everyone? This is Wolfhound44324 from Rage Wolf Productions, and today I'm going to be doing a video on crickets and how to keep them, what to feed them, basically just a general care sheet for them of how to keep crickets for your reptiles. When I worked at the pet store, I had lots of people coming in all the time and talking to me about crickets for their reptiles or for whatever. And how to keep them alive, different things to feed them, and stuff like that, because when you first start keeping crickets, if you don't know what you're doing with them, it could be very difficult to keep them alive, and you'll find yourself throwing money in all different kinds of directions, just trying to keep them alive. So, the method that I find the best for keeping crickets, they have the critter keepers and stuff like that with the tubes. That's what that black tube over there is, and then there's another one right here. That's what those came from, but I just took them from that and actually moved them into this is a 10-gallon tank. You know, just enough for them, and, you know, you could have a smaller tank. You could use a 5-gallon or a 2-gallon or whatever, but I have a lot of crickets that I keep at once. There's probably about 300 in here now, but I ordered 500 before, but it's been a couple weeks of feeding Phoenix, and, you know, so, anyway, I find a 10-gallon tank with a screen lid is the best way to keep them. Now, the thing is, crickets stink to high heaven. So one thing that I found easy to keep them on the bottom is, you'll see this is natural corncob bedding. Or not natural corncob bedding, I'm sorry, this is crushed walnut shells. It seems to reduce the smell quite a bit, and I think if you just keep up on cleaning it, it will, you know, be fine. So, as far as food and water goes, food-wise, you can see back there, there is carrots, and then you can't see in the dish. Move it, guys. You can see that is cricket grain, and you can just pick that up at any pet store. This one is particularly by Flukers. This is high calcium cricket diet. I use that for them, and I also get some of the cricket grain straight from Timberland, which is where I actually get my crickets from. And you can give them carrots, you can give them potato, you can give them all different kinds of fruits and vegetables. I'd be careful leaving different fruits in there, though, because they tend to go bad faster than the vegetables do, and you'll start getting gnats. As far as water goes, crickets can't actually drink regular water because they drown. They're not exactly bright. So they have to have, like, this gelatin form. There it is. Kind of looks like ice. But what it is what I found to use best is they come in this crystal form in this packet. They're called polymer gel crystals, and a lot of places use them for, like, flower arrangements. If you go on eBay, you'll be able to find them pretty easily. I found these, the person was selling 6 of them for $1, and I have a ton of them. You can still see in the bottom. But what you do is you take them and you get a container of water, and I'm just going to set this right here. This is just an empty Maxwell House coffee thing. But you fill it with water, and then you dump the crystals in there. Leave them set for a couple hours, and then they turn into these gel... Well, they're just gel crystals, I guess. And I keep a spoon in here just so I can get it out easy. As far as what to put in there with them, you'll see a lot of places have cardboard, which is basically to keep them from crawling on each other. And actually, crickets are very territorial, and if they don't all have, like, their own little space that they can call their own, they'll actually turn cannibalistic and eat each other. Freaky things, I've seen it happen myself, and these are actually the Vitabug crickets. There's the regular and the Vitabug that Timberland offers, and I've noticed the Vitabugs decide to eat each other a heck of a lot more than the regular ones do. But, cleaning them is really easy. I clean it out every couple of days because then it starts getting stinky in there, especially with a lot of them in there. And you could see, like, right there, that is a shedded, I don't know if you could see, there it is. that is a shedded exoskeleton of the crickets. They all start off small like that little guy, and then they shed their exoskeletons to start looking, hang on, start looking like, come on, focus. Start looking like the big guys. So you'll have a lot of those shells all over the place. Sometimes you'll have dead ones if you're, first starting off. But I actually just cleaned this morning, so it's nice and clean in there. I have this little scooper here. This is actually for hermit crabs, but it does very, very well scooping up this walnut bedding, and it allows, some of the bedding to stay in there, but most of the gross gunk and cricket crap and stuff to come out. So you can get one of those. It was like $3 or $4 from the pet store. And then I have a little drawer here that I keep my stuff in. This is just a calorie supplement for when Phoenix was losing a lot of weight. That is actually a fantastic supplement if you have reptiles that aren't to their optimal weight. You could add that into their diet. It's fantastic. As well as this is actually crested gecko diet, but you can use it for beardies because it's got all the fruits and stuff in there and it entices them to eat. There's the cricket food, and then there's the gel crystals. Oh, I keep their food and water stuff in these little corner bowls, but they also have these little ones, the shallow dishes and stuff. I just find it better to keep their food in there because you're cleaning this out a lot, so it's just easier of the cleanup process. You can put in toilet paper and paper towel rolls, lots of extra cardboard. That's not for these guys. Those are for my little sugar ants that decide to stay on my windowsills. But that's pretty much all there is to keeping crickets. Besides temperature-wise, you want to keep them in a room that is room temperature, because if it's too hot, they will start dying off very fast. And if it's too cold, they'll start dying off really fast. So room temperature is optimal for these guys. But other than that, there's not really much to keep in crickets. You just have to have practice with it. 10-gallon tank, if you're going to keep a lot of them. Screen lid, their gel for their water, the different kinds of foods, the cardboard, bedding, and that's all there really is to it to keeping them. Just practice with them. Start off small. Instead of, going out and buying 100 crickets right off the bat, start yourself off with like 50 or 75 and try keeping them that way. And when you start actually keeping them for a while, you'll see that it gets easier as it goes along. Alright guys, happy cricket keeping.